Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Sorry about that. Meant to turn the microphone on. What's up, everybody? It's Antoine Campbell once again. We're going to give you guys a wonderful presentation tonight. It's called the REI playbook. A lot of you folks, I probably already know, but I want everybody to drop where they're from, the city and state that they're from, that they're listening from and watching from, so we can get an idea of the type of audience that we have tonight. Um, like I said, real estate is very interesting. It's a very interesting thing to get yourself into. And nothing on this webinar is some groundbreaking shit that just came out yesterday. Nothing on this webinar is something that you couldn't figure out on your own. Everything is simple and straightforward. It's just that I think that this webinar will help recalibrate yourself and recalibrate the expectations, which you should be doing on a daily basis in order to get to your first deal. And that's something that I really want to emphasize before we start this webinar. I am not a genie. I can't grant you a wish. In order to really see this, the results that you would like to see, you definitely gonna have to put in the work. Okay, I see Raleigh, North Carolina in the house. Who else? Michigan in the house. Richmond, Virginia in the house. Winchester, Virginia in the house. New Jersey in the house. Okay. I hope everyone filled out the survey so we can get an idea on what type of people that's on this webinar. Miami, Florida's in the house. New York, Orlando. That's cool. Keep them coming. West Virginia. Twan, what's up, Twan? Clinton, Maryland. What's up, Tim? Greensboro, North Carolina. Harrisburg, PA. What's up, Rich? Hey, man, there's a bunch of folks on here tonight, man. I appreciate you guys for taking your time out on this Tuesday night to hop on this webinar, the REI playbook, the newbie guide to your first deal. Like I said, this webinar is basically key principles that you must keep following on a consistent basis in order to get to your first deal. The reason why most people don't hit their first deal, it's not because none of the strategies work. It's just that they're not following the key principles consistently. So hopefully you got a pen and a paper out, and we're going to breeze through this webinar. It's going to be a simple PowerPoint presentation. Ooh, Italy. Okay. It's going to be a simple PowerPoint presentation, but the most beautiful thing about this presentation is I'm going to open it up for Q&A. That's my specialty. I like Q&A because sometimes your questions might not be within the presentation. It just might be you need your questions answered individually, and we'll open it up for that. I'm going to try to keep it short as possible. We're going to try to run about an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes. Since we got started a little late. So as you guys know, I don't know if you know who I am. My name is Antoine Campbell. I'm a real estate investor, and I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. I primarily fix and flip and wholesale virtually. So, just in case you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know who I am. The webinar is being recorded. It should be recorded. Let me make sure before I start. I think it automatically records. Yeah, it's been recorded, so it should be a replay. What's up, cuz? Crystal in the house. Take down notes, guys, and I might end up releasing this PowerPoint presentation afterwards. It's a simple PowerPoint presentation I put together for you guys. It's nothing special. So, I have to give out my disclaimer. And basically, the content on this presentation is intended to be used. It must be used for informational purposes only, and that you should take independent financial advice from a professional and independently research and verify information presented in this presentation. Antoine Campbell and Novak Capital Partners, V1 Marketing, are not liable for any advice given. So, welcome everyone once again. Tonight's webinar is going to be very fun. I'm a type of person, I crack a lot of jokes, and I definitely like to keep my sense of humor up to par. At the end of the webinar, like I said before, we're going to open up the Q&A. So definitely write down your questions. If you're having a problem in your business and you're having a bottleneck in your business, or you're struggling, you've been doing this for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, and you feel like you haven't, got past that point that you need to get past, definitely write down your questions and drop them in the comment feed so I can try to get as many questions answered as possible. So Before I start, guys, I just want to tell you, 85% of your success is going to evolve around being consistent, guys. So what I want you guys to understand is, uh, nothing will work with time committed to this business. You get what I'm saying? You got to commit at least 20 or 40 hours a week to your business. No exceptions. You get what I'm saying? You cannot do this business at 5 hours, 10 hours a week. So you got to be part time or full time. Nothing in between, guys. That's the rule number one to the playbook. You definitely, because what happens is if you did 3 hours this week and then next week you did 5 hours, the inconsistency is going to be so bad that it's going to delay your results. You get what I'm saying? So you definitely got to squeeze out 20 hours a week. What is 20 hours a week? If you work 5 days straight, that's only 4 hours a day. You get what I'm saying? If you can, set aside 4 hours a day or 3 hours a day and then work an extra day on the weekends, you'll definitely see the results that you're looking for. So you got to create a predictable business, guys. You know what I mean? And how did you do that? You got to know your numbers. You got to know your KPIs. What are KPIs? Key performance indicators. Without a predictable business, you really don't have a business. You got to know everything about your business in order to make some of the most informed decisions you can make about your company, especially when it comes to cold calling, how much you should be spending on marketing. If you decide to scale with VAs, how would you have the VAs help you run your company? You got to understand these things, guys. So definitely tonight, write that down. Start working on creating a predictable business. Don't worry about the check. Don't worry about your first deal. Worry about building something that's more predictable so that way you can be able to have measurements and build a pipeline. Here are some solid KPIs you should be tracking. Okay, guys? Here's some solid KPIs you definitely should be tracking every single day. You should have a spreadsheet for these KPIs, and if you have VAs calling for you, they should be sending this report to you every day at the end of the shift. Or if you're a one-man show, you should be filling out this report every single day. I don't care what time of the day it is or what day of the week it is. It should be done every day. The number of calls made, right? Then you want to track the number of contact made. You get what I'm saying? Mojo, if you cold calling Mojo, if you're doing a lot of bulk cold calling with a triple line dialer, you definitely want to have at least a 10% contact rate. What is a contact rate? A contact rate is the number of people you actually made contact with over the phone. And 10% is a great solid number to start off with. If you can get up to around 12%, that's really great. But 10%. If your contact rate dropped below 8%, you definitely got to look at your quality of your list, and you definitely got to look at your data, where you're getting your data from. Also, number of appointments made. That's very important. You want to track how many people that actually committed to an appointment, whether it's an in-person appointment or a telephone appointment. You still want to know these metrics. And we're going to get into that a little deeper into the slide once I get to that slide. But the most important thing that you really want to focus on is the number of hot leads generated. Hot leads are the life and blood of your operation. Without hot leads, you don't really have a business because there's no pipeline. What are hot leads? Hot leads are homeowners looking to sell within the next 90 to 120 days or less. That's what cold caller specializes in. They specialize in prospecting and extracting as many hot leads from your lists that you pull, such as pre-foreclosure, bankruptcy list, high equity, zombie list, you name it. Any list that you're doing, you definitely want to extract all the hot leads and take the hot leads and put them inside your CRM. Whatever CRM you're using, you want to have it organized and have everything in a chronological order. So for me, I like to use Podio, and all of our hot leads go on Podio, and then our acquisition managers make it her business to cold call most of the hot leads on a consistent basis. Let me let you guys in on follow-up. The real money is made in a follow-up, guys. You get what I'm saying? Without follow-up, you definitely don't really have an operation that's going to be a consistent operation. And let me let you into some metrics that we know about that can kind of wake you up. In 2007, it took on average almost 4 cold call attempts to reach a prospect. today is almost double. Well, it is double. It takes 8 attempts to reach somebody on the phone. So if you starting off cold calling and you just start cold calling the list and no one's answered the phone and maybe you only call the list once or twice, guess what? You're not even nowhere near the follow-up in order to get someone on the phone. So remember, it takes at least 8 cold call attempts to get someone on the phone. The early bird always gets the worm. 50% of sales goes to the first person to contact the prospect. So remember that. You always got to stay ahead of the game because everybody in mother's cold calling. So, 50% of the homes that's being sold usually go to the first person that homeowner talks to. So you got to be aggressive with your cold calling, guys. Don't cold call for a day or two and then forget about it for 3-4 days and then start back again. It got to be a consistent battle. And that's the only way you're really going to get to your first deal unless you've been consistent on a consistent basis. 80% of sales require 5 follow-up calls after the meeting. You get what I'm saying? So even once you get the person on the phone, in order to lock up the contract, your acquisition manager might have to make 5 follow-up calls because sometimes there are rejections there. Sometimes there are objections there. Sometimes there are issues there that is getting in the way with the seller moving forward with your offer or, wanting to set up a appointment. So you definitely got to be really persistent with calling these people. 44% of salespeople give up after their first follow-up, guys. So if you follow up with someone and they say, no, I'm not interested, or no, or they send you the voicemail, or they go ghost on you, or someone else pick up the phone and say you had the wrong number, try to brush you off, guys, you got to remember, you got to continue to hound and pound the phones. You got to be aggressive on the phones. There's nothing wrong with being rejected. It's all about how you handle it moving forward and being consistent on the phones. And then 70% of people make selling decisions to solve problems. 30% of people make decisions to gain something. So nearly almost all the people you talk to are selling a house to solve some type of problem, guys. Keep that in mind. And what I mean by that is they have some type of pain point or some type of life-changing situation that requires them to sell a house. Most people just don't sell a house just because to make some money. It's usually a pain point there or a reason there. Whether or not it's an empty nester, maybe their kids are grown and moved out the house and the house is just too big. Maybe they have to relocate. Maybe they're a military family and the husband just got deployed and the wife want to move to, be closer to her family while the husband gone for 2-3 years. You get what I'm saying? Maybe the family member got incarcerated and they need to liquidate the house to help fight the court case. There's so many reasons why a seller needs to sell a property, and majority of the times it's to solve problems. So don't forget that, guys. Driving for dollars. Why are you driving for dollars? Driving for dollars is the easiest way to get your first deal, guys. And the reason why, it's the cheapest form of marketing you have, and it's the most quality leads you can get your hands on because you're not relying on a big data company to provide the leads. The leads are real time. You're actually going to make an assessment to see how high the grass is, if there's any stickers on the doors, if there's any, maybe the roof caved in, maybe some windows busted out. You're able to see these things. And I bet you if you put this house on the top side of the list, it might not even show up on a pain point list. So driving for dollars is very sufficient when it comes to generating motivated sellers as well as closing deals. What you want to do when you drive for dollars, the way we do it is we write down the address in a notepad or Driving for Dollar app. Most people, they use Deal Machine, but me and my wife, when we go driving for dollars, it's typically me and her driving in the car. I'm driving, she's on the side. I'm looking on the left side of the car, looking at all the addresses. She's looking out the right side of the car while we're driving, probably about between 5 to 12 miles an hour. And she's writing down all the addresses. And I'm screaming out loud, 4132, 2132, 3332. And then while we on that same street, instead of writing the street down, by the time we get to the end of that street, she'll just put two crosses side by side and then write the street down to gap all them houses together so you won't have to waste your time writing each address down. So that's a quick little hack. Take pictures of the addresses and send them to your VAs. If you're out here walking for dollars, or you on the street and you just so happen to maybe you walking home from work, maybe you catch the metro to work, maybe you ride a bike and maybe you see a property. Take a picture of the property, put the address in the property, and send it to your VAs. If you don't have a VA, send it, upload it in Dropbox or upload it in G Drive, and save it to yourself. If you have a Samsung phone, they have what we call Samsung Notes. You can save it in your Samsung Notes and save it to yourself. So when you get home, you can kind of skip trace it, reverse look up it, and try to get them on the phone as quick as possible. You can have the VA search the names on the county site, or if you have PropStream is definitely awesome. Sometimes the county sites it moves a little slow, but PropStream you can kind of knock out as many leads as you want. The issue with going to the county sites, if you have someone doing driving for dollars for you virtually, and maybe they in different markets, you got to leave that site to go to the next county site, and then you got to bookmark the county site to remember the right county site. So that can be a bit challenging and frustrating. So PropStream is definitely the way to go if you don't want to go through all that. Once again, have the VAs organize and list in Excel, or you can do it. If you just start off by yourself, Excel can be free. You don't need the paid version of Microsoft Excel. Use the Google Docs. Google give you a free Gmail address, and you can use all the Google Docs form to kind of run your entire business. You can run your entire business with Google Docs online until you're able to afford Microsoft Excel. Skip trace the numbers. If you don't have a bunch of money, Mojo have a feature for $40. You can do unlimited bulk skip tracing. If you really don't have the money, you can do what else? Another good skip tracing service. You can do. I think it's called Home. I forgot the name of the website, but yeah, it's another website I give you guys. After we finish the webinar, it slipped my mind. But you can do True People Finder, True People Search. These pay subscriptions for $9.99. It's a little bit of tedious, but starting out, especially if you don't have a lot of money, you definitely can use these resources and kind of get some traction. Load the skip trace list into the Mojo Dollar and call them. Leave a specific voicemail every time. So what I like to do is tell my VAs, just leave a voicemail. Hi, this is Net. Hi, this is Antoine. And just leave a specific voicemail. If you don't have Mojo, you can use Call Tools. And the beautiful thing about Call Tools, it automatically drops a voicemail for you. If the person don't answer the phone, you can disposition just for a voicemail. So that's some great tips for driving for dollars. Like I said, guys, if you haven't closed your first deal yet, don't try to go out here and buy all these lists and leads. Go the driving for dollar route first. And I promise you'll see some traction and see some results, and you should be able to lock up a lot of deals just from driving for dollars. So let's get into some cost of things, guys. A lot of people I talk to don't even know the basic things that you would need in order to become an effective wholesaler. So if you want to really be a top-notch wholesaler, you're definitely going to need some type of dollar, a 3-line dollar preferably, not a single-line dollar. Mojo Dollar is pretty awesome. It costs about $150 a month. You can reach about 700 people a day, 5 days a week. And if you full time in this business, you definitely could dial $14,000 a month. It's a pretty dope way to contact people for spending less than $150 a month. PropStream, once again, we use it to stack leads. They give you 10,000 leads a month that you can export. You can even pull all types of combo lists. It's pretty dope. You can stack lists, you can filter lists, and it's really dope. And they have a 7-day trial for free, and then after that, it's $97 a month. So if you don't have PropStream, I definitely will put my PropStream promo code in the links so you guys can sign up for that, because that's definitely a game changer software when it comes to running your business. I like to use the RVMs. RVMs we use from Stratix. We use the unlimited plan. They have subscriptions $300 and up. We have the $350 a month subscription, and that allows us to send up to 200 RVMs an hour out. If you do the math, that's a lot of RVMs. That's well over 2,000 RVMs a day, and we have the personnel to be able to take all the callbacks. ClickSend is another great one. We use it for SMS, and as well as slide text. Slide text is pretty dope too. When it comes to finding and sourcing cash buyers, guys, you can locate cash buyers instantly using Cash Buyers data feed. Cash Buyers data feed is pretty awesome because what happens is as you lock up a deal and you're trying to find a buyer, you go in there and then you're able to take the criteria of the deal you have, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, purchase price 130, and go in there and see who may be buying properties with a similar condition, similar property, in a similar vicinity for around the same price point. You take that information and you go to opencorporates.com and you skip trace the person that's on opencorporates.com and you cold call them. And then most importantly, DialPad. We use DialPad for our VAs. It's a phone service that they're able to text and call. We use it to dial into the Mojo server, as well as for all our call roll numbers to the DialPad phone line for each VA and whatever campaigns they're running. So here are the things that you would need as a wholesaler that can really take you to the next level, especially if you use it in the most consistent manner possible. So here's our call process again, guys. If you want to get to your first deal, you definitely need to have a call sequence. And within that call sequence, you want to have preferably, let's go with an RVM first, right? Someone said, what was the name of the company you mentioned before, DialPad? Let me go back. Sorry, guys. I definitely like to help people. Cashbuyersdatafeed.com. Cashbuyersdatafeed.com. So back to the call process. You definitely want to hit them with an RVM first, and then after you hit them with an RVM side of the spreadsheet, then translate when I upload it, right? After you hit them with an RVM first, you want to hit them with a live cold call second. And then after the live cold call, then the third touch is you definitely want to do a follow-up text. Do this in the most consistent manner. So maybe week 1 of the month, you start off with RVM. Then the second week on that particular list, we speaking from particular list. Maybe let's say, for example, this is regarding to the pre-foreclosure list. So week 1, we'll start off with an RVM, with assess and see if anybody called back. If they call back, we there to set an appointment. Then we won't put them on a follow-up list. So week 2, we're in a follow up the list and cold call everybody who didn't call us back, as well as any missed calls that we weren't able to get in touch with. Then we're able to send out a follow-up text. The follow-up text is pretty dope. So here's a sample RVM script that we use. It's a sample script. You can read it. I can read it too. Hi, my name is Antoine. I know this call is completely out the blue, but I was calling about a home I believe you own at whatever address. I'm interested in buying a home in that area and want to see if you would consider an offer on your property there. I completely understand if you have no interest in selling right now. If you give me a call back, either way, that I don't keep bugging you. Again, my name is Antoine and my number is blah, blah, blah. Hope to talk to you soon. So use a basic generic script like that when you send out your bulk RVM, and I'm telling you, it'll get the phones ringing. It'll get the phones ringing. We use this script all the time. So this is for your recorded voicemails, guys. So who is RVMs for? It's for anybody, but I mainly say RVMs is for someone who has a 9 to 5 but still wants to do marketing during the day. So you can drip your RVMs slowly through strategies to set it up at a timer where so many RVMs go out a day, and then the callback number you can set a call reel as a voicemail and leave a message, have them leave a message on the callback. And then by the time you get off work, let's say you get off work around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you can take that time you can take that time to do your callbacks and do your prospecting and see the quality of the leads you got. So that way you won't say, hey, I don't have time to call. You can use the RVM in place of cold calling. So that's why a lot of people like REMs, because they don't have enough time to do that. So maybe someone's on here so busy that they don't have time to cold call all day. Use the RVMs and use the SMS, and I promise you, it will set you free. Five things you need to for you to effectively cold call. We already went over this, but I want to iterate it again because I think it's important. I don't want anyone to miss this. You're gonna need a list. You're gonna need a good list. Pain point lists are great to start off with, and sometimes a broad list is great to start off with. So if you're new starting off and you don't really have as much experience, you should be calling a pre-foreclosure list, the high equity list, and the tax delinquent list. Get good at your script. Get good at being a people person, and get good at being showing passion and just really being professional on the phone when it comes to people in pre-foreclosure, because they're going through a life-changing event. You definitely don't want to say rude and obnoxious, and the only thing you're looking for was a sale. Get your dollar, guys. I can't emphasize how important it is to have a dollar. Imagine being able to call 3 times the people with one person. That right there will help increase your results 3 times faster. Get your dollar. It don't matter which dollar you decide to go with, but definitely a dollar. I like Mojo. I don't have no affiliations with them, but they've been working for me. Get your CRM. Get you something where you can be able to consistently manage all of the hard work you done did for producing leads to the point you know where everything's at. Get you a good CRM. What is a good CRM? A CRM that can be able to send out automatic text messages, CRM that can be automatically send out RVMs, a CRM that you can be able to send out contracts to it. That's a good CRM. You get what I'm saying? It has a good drip campaign and a good sequence. Someone keeps asking me, will this webinar be saved somewhere? Yes, it will be saved. Anybody who's attended it, we'll email out the replay link from the emails you provided us for the webinar. And get you a good home information provider. HIP, that's what I like to call it. I like PropStream. Some people like my REI Pro, but I definitely think PropStream is way more superior when it comes to data and data extraction, unlike REI Pro. Not saying REI Pro ain't bad, it's just that's just my opinion of it. Each market, guys, remember this, each market reacts different to lists and data and stuff like that, especially if you live in a non-disclosure state. Certain lists might not be available and things like that. And you definitely need to have a good, solid script and good rebuttals as well. What is a script? A script is something that you call with and you try to stay within that information that in the script. You don't try to go outside the script unless you know what you're doing or you're beyond experience. And rebuttals are something that you use in place of if someone asks you a tough question, basically you have an answer to it, to the point that you put that question to rest and you put that seller at ease, and they're not really questioning who you are and what you're doing. So these are the 5 things that you will need to effectively cold call. I suggest if you can, screenshot it until we send out the slides. Guys, remember this. I don't know if anybody told you this, but remember this one thing. It takes 8 to 12 offers to get one contract. You must cold call. If you're going to do cold calling as your main source of marketing and lead generation, you must cold call at least 500 plus people a day. To really see the results that you want to see, you must consistently cold call every single day, guys. And if cold calling isn't an option, or you feel like you can't be consistent with cold calling, guys, just get the RVM. Set the RVM up and have it go out automatically. And I promise you, people are going to be calling your phones and your stuff going to be booming, and you're going to be going on appointments, and life is going to be great. But it all starts with consistency. So 8 to 12 offers equals one contract. And let's go a little deeper. How many people that's going to take for you to get one appointment? How many hat leads would that take? Typically, it takes about 3 to 5 hat leads to book one appointment. You get what I'm saying? So let's do the math. 5, right? 5 times 8 is 40. So it's going to take you 40 hot leads on average to possibly get one appointment, guys. So when a person says, yes, I'm looking to sell, it's cool to be excited and happy about it, but just know that there may be a little more leads that you have to produce in order to secure that one contract. Guys, this is nothing but a volume game that we're playing. I'm telling you, this is nothing but a volume game that we're playing. And if you don't believe me, everybody who's doing well with this real estate stuff is doing the same exact thing. They're playing a volume game. So you definitely want to understand and set the expectation up front with yourself so you won't be butthurt. So after you talk to 4 sellers, you're like, dang, this ain't working. But at least you know that, okay, I need to talk to more. But remember this, guys, 8 to 12 sellers mean that you're trained, you know what you're doing, you know how to work the phones, you know how to do all this great stuff already. You got your rebuttals down pat, you know objections, you know all of that, and you closing 1 out of every 8 offers. Your number might be 16, 17 offers until you get that training. So my number one advice to you guys is to start watching like Cardone University. That's a great place to start. It's like $99 a month. Watch Cardone University. If you can't afford that, go to YouTube and type in objections training, rebuttals training, cold call training, all these different things, and all these free videos gonna pop up, and study your craft, guys. Remember, this is a business. It's a legitimate business, and you have to be great at your craft in order to see some type of results. Diamond asks, what are some common questions you come across that requires rebuttals? How do you get my number? How do I know this is a scam? Where your business located at? What else? Some other questions. Can you close tomorrow? I want my money in cash. Like, it's so many different rebuttals that you have to. And this is another thing. If you're running cold callers, listen to the calls. Consistently listen to the calls, guys, and then listen to the top rebuttals. The top rebuttals to come up with some customized rebuttals for your company. Because, like I said, each market is different. And when you have and when you call in a different demographic of people, no disrespect, but the mindset is different. The intellectual level is different. So you definitely might have to adjust your rebuttals in your script accordingly to the demographics you are calling. Someone asked, how do you explain the formula to the seller to explain why they're getting a price that they think they will? We'll talk about that towards the end of the slides, guys. I don't want to get caught up answering questions until I'm done. I really don't like slides, but I do them just to kind of educate. I'd rather just do Q&A. But let's knock out these slides and then we get into our Q&A. How about that? So, guys, when you're making your offers, write this, screenshot this, and take this in consideration. When you make your offer, if a house needs and these are hypothetical numbers. If a house needs a full gut, what is a full gut? Everything comes out. Everything is being taken out all the way to the studs or the joists on the floor. Everything is put back in brand new. HVAC, plumbing, electrical, drywall, brand new kitchens, brand new baths, insulation, new roof, new windows. That's a full gut. Now, each market is different. This might be a little more, it might be a little less. But if you decide to go virtually, there's some virtual stuff that we use in our company that really helps us stay out of trouble. So if we know for a fact a house is a rundown piece of shit house and it needs everything, we calculate $85 a square feet. Now, we don't go and tell these cash buyers that, yes, this house needs $85 square feet worth of work. We don't ever say that. We just padding our numbers to the point that we negotiate and have some room for ourselves. Now, what we might say is, hey, Mr. Buyer, we know you bought at 130 across the street, and we're looking to get 130 for this. Now, if the buyer comes back and explains why he can't do 130, the difference in the surplus money with the renovations, we can actually fake negotiate with him to make it think we'll move back to the seller and say, yes, we can do that number. So you always want to pad yourself where you're not having to go back to the sellers all the time. A medium renovation is probably, you're going to come across these in the down south, Tennessee, Memphis, probably certain parts of Georgia where most people are not doing full guts. Right around $45 a square feet. That's what we're saying. It's an internal renovation, basically new baths, carpet, maybe new kitchen, small stuff, not nothing major. And then a light rehab is maybe carpet paint. It's ideal for rental properties in smaller markets like St. Louis. It's $25 a square foot. So definitely keep this in your records. Then this might not be as accurate in certain markets, but it's definitely good roadmap and it's good part of your playbook in order to be able to be confident enough to make offers over the phone, guys. This is what we use for offers over the phone, as well as offers in person too, if you would like. So if you're running with VAs, you definitely want to be able to have a dashboard and be able to track their daily performance. This is something I built customized for all of my VAs. And what happens is you track the performance of each VA. Remember, every day I want to see the number of hot leads that was generated, the total calls, and the total appointments. You get what I'm saying? You definitely want to track all of this stuff inside of your customized KPI dashboard. So if you're not at that level yet, no worries. Still take this down and use it for yourself to kind of see where you are at. Now, if you have a couple of VAs already working for you, definitely consider creating something like this or hiring my company to build you something like this. As you see, the V1 marketing agency, V1 training, all that stuff. That's a new company we created that can take care of all this stuff for you so you can sleep real better at night. You don't have to stress about it. So definitely take that into consideration and use that to track your weekly performance. I'm a visual person, and I'm able to see things visually and be able to make better decisions by knowing what I'm looking at. And then, set weekly, monthly, and quarterly goals. Our goals are measured by our KPIs. We offer our employees cash incentives for hitting our targets and goals. So definitely, like I said, you don't need, listen, let's go back to it. We don't need nothing fancy like this yet if you're not ready for it. If you're not financially capable of doing this, or if you're just not ready, you don't have the personnel that has something this fancy, you don't need that. You can go back to this because guess what? This information, this spreadsheet, is just piped in over here. It's basically taking this information off this spreadsheet and then it's just pushing it over here so it can look pretty for me so I can see it. You get what I'm saying? You can get your basic spreadsheet like this and set it up, guys. Remember, this is a Google spreadsheet. I mean, a Google Doc spreadsheet. It's free. So definitely look into that and take that in consideration. If you decide that you're going to have people calling for you, or fuck it, you calling for yourself, you definitely need to track your numbers. You need to track the total number of calls, the daily required number of calls, set an expectation of what you require for them calls, the daily required number of voicemails, maybe for people that run your RVMs, and voicemails sent, and as well as, most importantly, hot leads that are generated. And then over here, if you focus on appointment setup, and then the schedule, you were able to kind of see what's going on. So guys, remember this before we go. We're about to wrap it up. This the playbook right here. RVM at least 5,000 people a week, guys. What is that? 1,000 people a day. 1,000 people a day. 5 days a week. Even if you just RVM on Monday through Friday, 1,000 people a day, 5,000 people a week, you are good, guys. I promise you that. If you want to go the cold calling route, cold call at least 500 people a day, guys. If you can't do that yourself, consider hiring a virtual assistant at $4 an hour, guys. If you work some type of government job, or if you can afford $100 a week or $150 a week for a VA, definitely allocate that money towards having someone cold call on a consistent basis. If you don't want to go that route, guys, I got another route for you. Go down for dollars and add at least 50 plus people a day. We try to shoot for 150, 100. Go driving for dollars and add at least 50 plus or 100 people a day to your master driving for dollar list. Probably what's in your G drive or whatever you have. And I promise you, you can get great results from there. If you want to text at least 500 people a day, right? And then to really get to that point where you're going to have a consistent business, guys, follow up with at least 5 to 10 high leads a day. So go back to your Podio, or go back to your CRM, your FreedomSoft, your Microsoft Excel, whatever CRM you decide that you have, and then you double down on cold calling the hot leads that you already produced to try to, one, get them to accept the offer that probably you submitted already and they wasn't willing to work with you, or two, to get them to commit to an appointment because it's hard for them to set an appointment on a certain day. And I promise, the money is made in a follow-up, guys. There's nothing special about this business. People might be trying to sell you stuff. People might be saying this is a new strategy. People might be trying to say this the groundbreaking change in software. It all leads back to the phone. You have to talk to someone on the phone. It leads back to the phone, and it leads back to you being consistent. So that's the REI playbook. Consistency and being on the phones. And you got to give it at least 20 hours a week. So if you haven't been giving it 20 hours a week, guys, you need to step it up and give it 20 hours a week. So before we go, I wanted to give you a few books that I personally like. Traction, right? Traction is a book that's going to really teach you how to run your business in a way that everybody has a job and they know what they're doing. You get what I'm saying? Scaling Up is a book that's really going to teach you how to scale your company and how to put systems and automations in place to get your company to the next level. 4-Hour Work Week is another great book that I love that's really going to teach you how to run your business without being so hands-on and micromanaging everything to the point that you can really run your business 4 hours a week. It's called 4-Hour Work Week. And Profit First. Profit First really teach you how to run a lean, mean operation, guys, that can get you to the next level. Notice I didn't put no real estate books up there. Why is it that? Because if you go back to my presentation, everything is simple. Everything is fundamentals. There's nothing groundbreaking that's changed in real estate so far. Real estate been the same concept for a very long time. You know, there might be certain little strategies that change and get tweaked, but the overall concept of real estate is typically the same. So I don't try to get you drowned in, real estate books because it's all the same. But what you want to do is double down on your effort, and I'm telling you, you're going to the next level. So let's open it up for Q&A. Like I said, I wasn't going to have you guys on this call that long. We've been on here 47 minutes. And get you guys off to bed or cooking dinner or watching TV or whatever you got to do. So drop your questions. I'm going to try to answer about 5 to 10 questions. And drop some good questions. Drop questions with clarity. Make sure you be specific about the questions you're answering so that we all can understand what you're trying to say, so I can try my best to get the best answer. Remember, I don't know everything, so if I don't know something, I will tell you that and refer you to someone who may know that question. Thank you so much, Octavia. Thanks, everyone. Let me check and see the polls. Yeah, so 82% of the people haven't closed their first deal. No one didn't answer my question. I'm just here being nosy. Okay, but yeah, so we definitely going to work on that. This is an introductory to what I'm going to give and show at my free workshop in January. If you can make it out to the free workshop in January, it's going to be an all-day Saturday workshop, and I promise you guys, I'm going to blow your socks off. So this right here was just a warm-up for that, just to see if there's even an audience for this type of presentation. Maybe a lot of people advance, but I definitely think it's an audience for this type of presentation. So I'm definitely going to try to take it to the next level. So let's start with these questions. They coming in hot and fast. Don't go nowhere because we're going to drop the date on that all-day Saturday workshop We should find out tomorrow the exact date. It's definitely going to be the first Saturday or the second Saturday of January. It's a New Year's workshop. We're going to start the New Year's off right. We're going to have scripts and actionary plans and everything like that. Let's start off with Stacy. Stacy asks, how many VAs can I get for $150 a week using your VA training program? Well, you can get one VA for $100 a week part time, right? Or you could add an extra $30 to that 150 and get one full time VA. But if you was clever and smart, you would try to shoot for two part time VAs that works 5 hours a day at $200 a week. So if you can find a way to squeeze, if you can find a way to squeeze, if you can find a way to squeeze an extra $50 a week out your budget, so you can be able to get two VAs, that'll definitely be awesome because you can take one VA and have them strictly cold call, the other VA do admin stuff, RVMs, and SMS, and you're able to do 3 channels of marketing at the same time. Victoria asks, with dialer cell and 3 lines, do you need to have it connected to dial pad? To my knowledge, I think dialer cell you have to dial in from Twilio. You have to have a Twilio account and a Twilio number to use it. It works off the Twilio platform. Let me go back to the comments. They're coming in fast. Your call asks, what's up, bro? I run my own e-commerce dropshipping business. I want to know if you suggest outsourcing 1 or 2 VAs from the gate to handle cold calling, since they would be able to bang out more calls than I would. Yes, the answer to my question is, if you can afford more marketing, increase your marketing fast. Because what happens is you get quicker results. If you try to nickel and dime everything, you're going to bleed slowly because you don't have the same amount of effort. So if you can afford 2 people to call at the same time, you're definitely going to see the results just as fast. Only if you can afford it and you feel comfortable. It all boils back down to your risk tolerance. Well, most people in real estate and entrepreneurship, they don't want to talk about this, but majority of decisions you're going to make as an entrepreneur boils back to how much risk are you willing to tolerate. So that's the answer to my question. Diamond asks, is your prepaid service available yet? No, the prepaid VA service got switched around. What happens is you pay us a flat fee of $4.99 for a VA, and we'll hire, train, and social VA, and that VA will be exclusive to you, and you pay that VA $4 an hour. My suggestion is only do that and when you're ready to have at least a part-time VA, because paying them on call, they're going to disappear on you. They're going to go find a new job because they want some consistent work. So if you're ready for a person that can call for you for 30 hours a week, 25 hours a week, then definitely go that route and get your own VA. And another thing was you wouldn't have the same VA every shift. So there'll always be issues with training and consistency and certain processes that you might have that the new VA might not be aware of. So you're always going to be running on the hamster wheel. Yeah, if you need a VA part-time, Kenny, reach out to us. Matter of fact, let me go to the next page. Drip conference, virtual assistants. Yeah, we don't have my VA mastery. Oh, they don't put on it. Oh, here you go, the number. If anybody looking for a virtual assistant, take this number down, screenshot it. 866-591-3913. We'll definitely hook you up. There's a waiting list because we're so busy right now with VAs. There's a waiting list. The waiting list is between 5 to 7 days, but once you get your VA, they'll be good to go. Set my quarterly goal to have, Rich said, set my quarterly goal to have 5 deals closed by the time the drip conference begins. My goal is to invest in that experience and turn a part-time business into a full-time business. Brother, that's a realistic goal. Set your goals, be consistent, get your accountability partner, and let them hold you to it so you can see that your goals come to reality. Someone asked, what are some key softwares you would recommend to get prior to hiring a VA? So key softwares I would recommend to get prior to hiring a VA is Dialpad, right? I would recommend you get Hubstaff, right? And I would recommend you get PropStream, and I would recommend that you get some type of CRM, whether it's a Podio, CRM, or FreedomSoft. There's some basic things that I say that you should have. Oh yeah, and Mojo. If you don't have Mojo, you definitely gonna need Mojo. Twan said, "How can you use your assignment fee to buy a property yourself to fix and flip and buy a hoe?" That's a little tricky, brother. You probably have to keep me in person, just because there's a lot of legalities in there, and I don't want nobody looking at me funny. So hit me up, and I'll explain it to you. If you haven't closed your first deal, Tyrone asked, if you haven't closed your first deal, would you recommend VA Masteries if you had the funding? Yes. Over 70% of the clients that work that's enrolled in VA Mastery haven't closed their first deal. But they had the funds, they had the job, they had the financial backing to make this very informed, educated decision about hiring VAs, because they know that that's something that needs to be outsourced, because they are at work every day and they're not allowed to bring their phones into the government building. Some of them had top secret clearances. So they made that decision based on them trying to help and scale. So yes, if you have the financial means to support a virtual assistant, I definitely say hire them. The beautiful thing about the VA Mastery, we definitely walk you through step by step and help you with that. We'll go back to some more questions. Yeah, Melvin. He said, can you explain the formula to the seller? Why they aren't getting a price that they think they will? You want to explain to sellers that you're a real estate investor and your company are real estate investors made up of a group of investors, and you buy houses based on as is conditions. And typically we don't pay nowhere near close to retail. We buy houses that's distressed as is. We can close in 7 days, and we are not looking to ask for any subsidies at closing. And the reason why we are making such a low offer that you consider as low is because that's what the market is telling us. And then you have comps. You have what we call as is comps, and you have that to support you. Miss Susan across the street sold for 130. Mr. Jackson down the road, and make sure you're able to write the people's names down on PropStream so you can know exactly what you're talking about. Mr. Jackson down the road, he sold his property for 128, and you have proof that this is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes a lot of sellers gonna have personal. They're gonna have a real personal passion about their property, so they're not gonna want to hear out that lowball offer because they feel like since they put them little $5.99 pathway lights in the yard, and they changed the toilet, and maybe they had Michaels and Sons come past and unclog the toilet, that they deserve retail. And you gotta explain to them retail meaning that everything in the house is approved to the best of its ability, brand new, and that's the highest and best price that the market is willing to pay because all the stuff new. And Mr. Seller, unfortunately, in your situation, your house is very dated and it haven't really been touched in years. So we have to come in here and take everything out and fix it up to the best of our ability. That requires money and risk, and we're a business too, so we definitely have to make sure we make a profit. And just explain to them and be very transparent about it. It's a very icky conversation to have, but it's one that has to be had. Andrea said, I tried to sign up to the workshop. Are you sending the link? Yes, you guys will be the first person to get the link since you was on this webinar to the workshop once we have everything solidified. Oh, yeah. Ismail asked, where would the workshop be? It will be located at the National Harbor at the Harborside Hotel right here in Prince George's County, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C. Kevin asked, what advice would be for someone who works full-time job who doesn't have enough time to commit 24 hours a week with a small budget of $600 a month to work with? Half of that's already going to skip tracing, assuming. Yeah, you definitely gonna need at least for a VA. You definitely. Hold on, guys. Antoine, close my door. Junior, close my door. You definitely gonna need. You definitely gonna need at least $400 a month. $400 a month for their salary. Um, and that's just $100 a week. If you get anybody less than 5 hours a day, I'm telling you, there's an 80% chance that they're gonna quit on you in the first 90 days. That's why we wanted to make sure that we have VAs that have consistent schedules because they're always looking for work because they're always trying to find a way to feed their family. And most times they're scared that they're going to get stiffed by us Americans. So we definitely want to make sure that we provide them with consistent workflow. How do you approach a bank-owned property? Well, we don't really target bank-owned properties. We try to go after the pre-foreclosures before the bank get it back. So I'm not really an expert at bank-owned properties, but if you're in a market that supports a lot of REOs that's online, I definitely advise you to partner up and team up with a realtor who know their stuff, so that way they can help you submit offers via, the online. But what I will say is, if you're not looking to hold them or flip them yourself, it's going to get a little murky when you're trying to assign an MLS property, especially as bank-owned, because they don't like that. They don't like the idea of that. So, but if you decide to do it, my opinion is make an offer in a blank LLC. A blank LLC is basically an LLC that's newly created with the intentions just to buy that property. Typically, you want to make it the blank LLC after the street address of the property, and once you do that, you're able to, instead of assigning a contract over to the new cash buyer, you just assigning an LLC over, and you can do that all day because everything still stays the same. That buyer shows up and be that LLC. Nothing's changed with the contract. It's just that the members of the LLC just got switched out, which was you at first. So I definitely say look into that. Yeah, V1 Marketing is basically a company that we created that specializes in SEO. We specialize in, well, we will be specializing in PPC probably the beginning of the year. I have a lot of people on my team that's really experts. We've been building our websites. We are doing a whole assortment of things, and as well as we have our own skip tracing company. We have a virtual assistant company, and we have our own Podio workspace. So there's a lot of products there for you guys that the whole idea is that you should just come to Antoine Campbell to get all your real estate related needs taken care and be trusted with a good person and make sure that we and my team is going to take care of you in the most highest standards as possible in this industry. So definitely look out for some products. As you need them, we definitely can hook you up and take care of it. Let me go back and make sure I ain't missing no questions. How do you edit and share Excel sheets with a VA? How to keep the list very organized and not get confused? Is there an updated VA Mastery? We're still working on VA Mastery 2.0, guys. We definitely, when that comes out, you definitely would get the new access to it. It's on a different platform. So just bear with us while we go to update it. We just want to get a lot of feedback from the VA Mastery, the first one, so we can go back and make the updates and really do it in a way that you'll appreciate it. So just give us some time to get that straightened out and taken care and get some new videos recorded. I definitely wanted to kind of record videos with me standing up, standing behind a green screen and pointing to the slides versus me just sitting behind my laptop. I think that was cheesy, but it worked for the time being. But now I really want to give you guys a better quality product. So just allow that to happen. I promise you, it'll be worth your time. Kevin asked, how many appointments does it usually take to get an offer? I'm assuming you're trying to say how many appointments does it usually take to get an offer accepted. Like I said, guys, it takes between 8 to 12 appointments to get an offer accepted. And take this consideration: nearly 40% of all deals don't make it to the closing table. Most people might lie and say that's not true, but from what I've seen so far doing this business, in my personal experience, at least 40% of deals don't make it to the closing table. It has nothing to do with you. It just means that there are some things such as title issues. Um, Maybe the homeowner closed with a quick claim deed at first, and that deed ain't no good, and you can't get title insurance on that deed. There's so many issues. Maybe there's the property hasn't been to probate yet, and that's gonna take a while. Maybe some heirs came out of nowhere and trying to claim rights to the property, and there's a lawsuit on the property. Maybe the IRS said, "Oh yeah, Mr. Seller, you owe us $180,000 3 days before closing, and now you can't close." So it's always a lot of moving parts. So if someone says, "Yeah, man, I close just about every deal I get on a contract," run away from them because they bluffing, because you can't stop and control, reality and shit. Life happens, guys. So someone telling you that every deal that they get on a contract they're closing, you need to watch them. Okay, I think I'm good with all them questions. Let me go back up, make sure I ain't missing them. Um, What are the best times to make cold calls? The best times to make cold calls is between 3 and 6, guys. Between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. That's the best time to make cold calls. Yes, PropStream is not actually a CRM, in my opinion. PropStream is just a lead generation tool and a property information provider. So say, for example, you out here and you just seen a drop for dollar house and you're so anxious you can't wait to get any more information about this house before you get home. You can open up your cell phone, go to your PropStream account, type in the address, and voila, it give you a full CMA about the house. It give you all the information. If there's any outstanding liens, when was the house purchased, if there's any refinance, who the owners are, if there's multiple owners. You get what I'm saying? If there's a pre-foreclosure or foreclosure taking place, it will show you that stuff. So that's why I think PropStream is one of the most superior softwares you can get your hands on, especially as a real estate investor. What are your favorite business books for newbies to learn systems? My favorite books for newbies to learn system is the 4 Hour Work Week. That's a definitely awesome book. And Traction. That's an awesome book as well. Does dialpad give the options to rotate your numbers? No, but you can always add numbers. See, dialpad is your main number that most times your VA is not even going to use as much. It's just a work desk number for them. What happens is all of the numbers that your VAs should be cold calling from, especially if you're virtually cold calling in virtual markets, you're going to be using CallRail to manage all of your outbound numbers. And then you're going to be forwarding them outbound numbers to your VA main dial pad number so they can get the calls in. Call X, how fresh is your content for the VA course? As fresh as the groceries in your refrigerator, my brother. I promise you that. Starting out, we need to have our VAs making 500 calls a day. What is the most cost-effective way to accomplish that? Are you strict on VAs and your performance exception? Yes, yes. I just promoted one of my VAs to be a lead manager, and now we have quality call assessments. We have performance assessments weekly that comes on my desk. We sample calls and we pick out different calls, and then we just critique them and put them through training to really help them with their prospecting and their rebuttals. So you definitely want to set the expectation. If you're having a part-time VA and they on a 5-hour shift, and you have a Mojo triple line dialer, and you have at least 600 numbers in your dialer, there shouldn't be no reason why that VA couldn't call them 600 numbers if you have a triple line dialer. and they're working at least 3 to 5 hours a day. If they call less than that, you have a serious problem in your operation, and you should suspend all actions in your operation and go back and rework out everything to figure out where's the leak in your operation. Because what happens is now you're creating what we call a money pit, and now you're just throwing money away, and you're not getting no results from it. So work on that. Your VA, it shouldn't be no reason why no VA not calling at least 500 people a day. Unless you have them doing other tasks such as admin tasks and stuff like that. The beautiful thing, someone said, Stacy asked, would it be better to get the VA mastery training instead of you guys training? Because what if the VAs decide to quit? We left one stuck. That's a very, very wise decision. If you get the VA mastery, you have access to the trainer. We'll train you. You have the recordings, you have certain scripts. And as well as we still provide the VA for you. Now, most people, they don't want that training. They feel like they know enough. They have a proven operation. They just need an extra body or VA. And they love that $500 option instead of paying the whole $929. But if you want the extra training and the extra processing systems, I definitely advise you to pay the $929. If you go into the website, the Teachable website, and elect to get the 2 payment options, there's a disclaimer. We don't provide the VAs until you pay your payment in full, which means the next 30 days when the payment comes out, then you'll be eligible for your VAs. As well as you must complete all the videos 100%. We could tell in the background if you did or not, in order to be eligible for your onboarding call with me, a 45-minute call, as well as getting a VA. Because it don't make sense to onboard you with a VA. You haven't watched none of the content, did anything. Now you calling us 5-10 times a day, texting us, blowing us up, chasing us, because you're not knowing what's going on. Not to pick on you, Stacy. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general. You definitely got to follow these things in order to move on to the next phase with getting a VA with VA Master. If you're on a tight budget, would you choose RVMs or SMS? Well, Kevin, if you're on a tight budget, I say go with Strategies. If you can squeeze out $300 a month, you can get unlimited RVMs and SMS in the same plan. So what you do is they allow you to send up to, I think, 200 RVMs an hour. So split the port and then only have 100 RVMs going out an hour for ringless voicemail, and then the other 100 RVM credits that you're allowed to send out an hour, dedicate that towards 100 text messages going out an hour. And you can kind of set your calendar and set your flow to whatever you want it. Maybe during the daytime between 3 and 5, you might send out 100 text messages an hour, and then after 3 and 5, you go back to 200 RVMs an hour. Someone asked, do I use deal machine? No, I use a good old lawyer pad, legal pad, and paper. And me and LaShawn, we get in the car and we knock out about 150, 200 properties every driving for dollar sessions we do. We take them and then we take pictures of them and we upload them into the G Drive, and then the VAs, they put them in a spreadsheet, skip trace them, and put them in a call rotation. Are there advantages of having a real estate agent on your team? Yes. If you're going to be buying properties yourself and fixing them, flipping them, or if you're going to be dealing with short sales and pre-foreclosures, you definitely want to have a competent agent, because 9 times out of 10, when it's time to do the pre-foreclosure, and if it's an FHA loan or something like that, the FHA requirements in order to move forward to short sales is it must be listed on the MLS for a certain period of time. So you're definitely going to need somebody that's going to rock with you, because some agents, I had one agent, she went behind my back and was presenting offers to the buyer, trying to get a higher offer. Like, that's going to make a difference because the house is going to short sale. And you want to watch these agents who's not doing as many deals. Find an agent who has a consistent deal flow, who won't do things and to mess up their integrity for $1 because they're hurting for money so bad that they just do any foolish things just to make some money. So that happened to us. That's a real life story. I won't name the situation of the person, but I'm telling you, that person, and thank God we were friends with the seller. We actually had a personal relationship with the seller, and she called us like, baby, this lady trying to get me to take different offers. And I'm like, what? because what happened was we already had the house on the contract. Once the house went on the MLS, it's supposed to already been marked as pending because the contract was already ratified. She still left it unpending to try to get the highest and best offer. So, that was what she was supposed to do. She's technically, but she already had a ratified contract in hand. Right. So it just showed us. It just showed us that her character wasn't always 100. So don't do things. Do things with people because they show you they're great. You get what I'm saying? Character is everything in this business, and if people will fuck you over and do some unethical things to you for a couple of dollars, it's over. Hey, they laughing at my comment when I said fresh as the groceries in your fridge. I'm just getting back up to it. Yeah, this microphone real strong. I did a test on it. It pick up everything. Even last night when we was on Facebook Live and the kids out there in the living room, I can hear them through the microphone. Yeah, it's strong. Dwayne said zombie list is a blanket vacant list or vacant on an area, then stacked with another distress on top of that. That's sort of correct, but the definition of a zombie list is a list of houses that are identified as vacant and then stacked with houses that are in pre-foreclosure. So you have a combination of a vacant house and a pre-foreclosure house, and that's why they call it a zombie, because it's dead and all that, I guess. I don't know who the hell came up with that name, but it's pretty dope. I like it. The name of the RVM and text message company I mentioned is Stratus Network. There's some awesome people. I need to call them up and give me some type of incentive for you guys, so that way you guys can get a better deal. Because a lot of people I recommended to Stratus and stuff like that. So let me try to make a phone call tomorrow. I know the guys up there in Canada to see can they cut us a little deal, a little discount or something. So that way you won't be spending a fuck ton of money, guys. Yeah, as of right now, guys, to my knowledge, you can't RVM landlines because certain telephone companies don't have the technology that send that signal to the service in order to immediately drop the RVM. Some people say you can, but to my knowledge, you cannot RVM landlines. But what you can do, I can drop a link to the software we use that you upload your list and it identify and tell you the numbers on your list if they are landline numbers or cell phone numbers. And that's a great way to kind of pick them out. And if you have a sassy and aggressive team of VAs, they should be able to manually skip trace and extract you some landline numbers that can best match that property. Someone asked, how many hours do I put in for driving for dollars? When we go driving for dollars, we put in at least 2 hours, maybe 3 some days. Well, what we like to do is we like to fill our car with a tank of gas. I drive a 2015 Nissan Altima, so it takes about $41, $42 right now. And we don't even spend all that gas up. And we pick a particular zip code in an area that we want to target, and we zero down on that. We're not all over the place, guys. Okay, so it's just hell during rush hour. Yeah, it's hell during rush hour. So we like to go. What's crazy? Most of our driving for dollars we only do in Washington D.C. We rarely do driving for dollars in PG County. Because what we find is that majority of the houses in PG County, most of the addresses are taken off, and it's just weird in PG County. I'm not saying that it ain't great to do driving for dollars in PG County, but we find that the best results is Washington D.C. for us, me and my wife. And we can go drive for dollars late at night in DC because it's a city. They had so many lamp poles and all that. We're still able to see the addresses. It's a beautiful place. So we're gonna get back on the drive for dollars and maybe go do a Facebook Live in the car doing drive for dollars to show you guys how we do drive for dollars as a couple. It's great to do drive for dollars with 2 people. 2 people can definitely work, and we'll send pictures and show you why. Right, babe, and show you why us driving for dollars together makes more sense than you trying to drive dollars by yourself, because you got to focus on driving and trying to stop and pull over to the right. It's just very dangerous. And you got people behind you beeping at you. It's very dangerous to drive for dollars by yourself. So I definitely recommend getting a partner. If you have a child old enough that can read and write, understand how to write down addresses, pay them $20. Well, that's a way to teach your kid. Or teach your kid, or give them an incentive, or do something for to incentivize them to want to help you. Someone said, yes, we hear everything, Lil Sean. Much love and thank you for allowing us, Antoine. Someone said, hey, Mrs. Campbell. Dwayne said, hey, Mrs. Campbell.
Hello. I'm feeling mac and cheese. You hear me? I'm feeling mac and cheese.
I got you, honey. I'm going to drop the link. Hold on. Let me try to find it. I got all these links on my phone. I took my phone off because it was agitating. I'm trying to pull up the link right now, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it on there later on, guys, because I can't find it. Sorry about that, guys. Someone said, how many properties did you get in 2 hours? We usually get between, I want to say between 100 and 175. It depends on how hard we go. And if we're not actually talking and getting off topic, guys. So, yeah. So, if you guys got any questions, you know my Facebook page. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to hop on this webinar. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. We're pulling over to the 90 minutes. Look out for the easy skip tracing company that we're launching. It's going to be an industry changer. I can't wait to show you guys how it actually works. We've been working hard in the background to get that going. And just follow me. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, CEO929. 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 Let me make sure I ain't missing no questions. If I had to choose between cold call and RVMs, the question about RVMs is who's going to consistently prospect for you, who's going to consistently follow up, or who's going to consistently add them into the CRM. You definitely still going to need a personnel to take care of that. If you can't take care of it, sit around all day waiting on the callbacks. It's very overwhelming. Especially, and that's why I tell people don't send out 10,000 RVMs at one time. Send out 200 an hour. So because if you get a 10% response rate for RVMs, 200 an hour, that's 20 calls coming back an hour. And the average person who's working on your clock, they definitely can handle 20 callbacks an hour. They don't have to pick up the phone right then and there. They can just call back and listen to the voicemails. And the beautiful thing about, let me give you a little quick nugget, guys. If you get a bunch of missed calls, and as long as you had the missed calls, as long as you had the calls routed back to your call rail number, you can go on call rail, extract all the missed calls, and then call rail will export your Excel sheet of all the missed calls. So that day when you come home, you can just take that Excel sheet with all the missed calls, upload it back into your dialer, and call them back all at one time. Or you can do it at work and then send it to your cold caller to call back right then and there, or someone maybe your husband that you're partners with, or anybody. So definitely get resourceful, guys. There's a lot of little tricks you can do to really run your business if you don't have a lot of time to do that. So you're welcome, Angel. So once again, man, thank you guys so much. I will be emailing out the replay link maybe tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. I look forward to you guys. Once we find out the information about the all-day free Saturday event in January, you guys will be the first email list we send out. There's only going to be 100 seats available. First come, first serve. If you plan on attending this free event and you get the email to the link, please, because it's an Eventbrite link. It's not like you RV and you show up. It's an Eventbrite link, and the ticket's going to say free on it, but you'll automatically get your ticket. You can print it out. Please get your ticket, and please set up your travel accommodations, because I would hate for someone to say, hey, I can't make it, and someone else could have probably flew in and came there who really want to be there. So please, if you don't have, you're not 100% sure that you can make it to this event, don't get a ticket unless you're sure and you already made your preparations to come. I'm not saying you have to buy your flight right there, but what I'm saying is at least commit 100% and put that on your calendar and make it a priority to come, because that's not fair. I know for a fact that 400 people could show up if I wanted to, but I definitely want to keep it small and keep it intimate, only 100 people, so I can be able to answer questions and be able to really manage the crowd. I don't want to have a big crowd, and I feel like I didn't really be able to give everybody that one-on-one experience that I'm always used to giving. So please, once we send out the email, just sign up. If you know you're coming, sign up. The last thing I want to hear is somebody call me, please, I'm coming from Cali, I'm coming from Georgia. Is there a way you can make me an extra seat? Take responsibility and take action now. Once that email been sent out, I'm going to maybe provide, I don't know yet, but I'll maybe provide free lunch that day for the event, so we can feed everyone. If you have dietary needs, I definitely suggest that you just eat something from the restaurant or bring you something to eat, because it's going to be a typical buffet, maybe sandwiches and chips and sodas and stuff like that. I don't have a shit ton of money, guys, so I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm just being honest, because the hotels, they don't charge normal prices. They charge like $18 a person. So you do the math. $18 times 100 people, do the math. So I appreciate you guys, man. I catch you guys next time. I got to go to the grocery store, make my wife this homemade mac and cheese that I made for her auntie's repast service yesterday. And unfortunately, that was the first thing that got eaten up. And I only had maybe like 2 spoonfuls. I didn't even get it. You put me a little bit on my plate. I
didn't think you was going to go that fast.
Man, I looked up and said, babe, can I get some more mac? Babe, it's gone. I said, oh, hell no. So 2 pans of macaroni and cheese got eaten up in less than, 15 minutes?
Probably less than that.
Less than that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Everything we had.
Because y'all already know I'm a chef on the low. I'm a chef. People don't know that.
Oh, God. Here you go.
Yeah. Come on through.
Thank your grandmother for the mac and cheese.
Thank my grandmother, who unfortunately passed away years ago, who left me the family recipe to the macaroni and cheese. And it's so good it make you want to slap your step cousin. So I appreciate you guys. If anybody have any questions, reach out to me directly. I'm a very accessible person. I'm not Hollywood or bougie. I definitely answer people. Now, if you ask me a 50-minute questions, I might get a little agitated and say, you know what, that's enough. Definitely come through with your solid questions. Reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram. I try my best to answer your questions. And I'm gonna leave you with this, guys. Even if you feel like you ain't accomplished much in this real estate, give more than you take. So when you come across someone of value, try your best to be a giver for them. Try your best to not seem like all you want to do is just mooch off the information. And I promise you, that's going to take you so far in this business that people are going to help you, and they're going to bend over backwards for you because they feel like you're not just here mooching and taking everything you could take. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you guys so much. Who said? Dwayne said your macaroni and cheese ain't better than mine. Shit, you tripping, brother.
I think it's in need of macaroni and cup of cheese.
Man, ain't nobody. When it comes to mac and cheese, I got this shit on lock.
I think we need to see because his might be better, but you don't know.
Look at you trying to hype my man up. You about to get his feelings hurt. This macaroni and cheese been passed down for 2-3 generations. I'm telling you. It made the whole repast get happy. Even at the funeral, they're like, "Oh my God!"
That was the last thing to come, and the first thing.
Because I came 15 minutes late, right, babe? Yeah. That was the last thing that I was the last person to show my dish, and that was the first thing to go.
My aunt was like, "I ain't getting none of it."
Yeah, they was blown. So I'm gonna make another pan for the kids because they was mad too. They ain't getting no mac and cheese. They get happy when they get the mac and cheese. But sorry, guys, for getting off topic. If you're looking for if you're looking for an awesome course, like I said, I'm not selling anything, but I'm just letting you guys know there's no hard sales, nothing like that. But I still feel it's important to at least let you know because maybe this course will change your life. If you're looking for a solid course, grab my virtual wholesaling A to Z. We dive really deep into that course, and I promise you won't be disappointed. The price of the course is $4.99. It's very straightforward. It's very informative, and it's to me, maybe I'm just boasting myself, but it's one of the best courses out as far as what you're paying. And as far as content as well. I put that course up beside anybody's course and stand tall and proud about what I put out. So if you're interested in that course, grab that course. It's a direct download. You get access to it. It's awesome. It comes with scripts. It comes with assignments. It comes with all these KPI trackers I've been talking about. It comes with the rebuttals. It comes with the objections. It comes with everything that you need, to be successful. Man, y'all can't hang with me. I don't care if you from goddamn South Pole, North Pole, Southwest, South Carolina, South Dakota. It don't matter what South you from. When it comes to mac and cheese, you ain't fucking with me. So you better get it together, guys.
He real man, y'all. He's salty. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check that course out. It's awesome. Most of the people, like a lot of people have it. It's called Virtually Wholesaling from A to Z. It's the blueprint. It's gonna set you free. If you're tired of banging your head against the wall trying to figure out what's going on, how to run this business at a high level, man, get the course. Everything is in there that you need. We go through step by step everything. Let me knock on wood. No one person complained about that course. Not one person asked for their money back because I over-delivered. And it goes back to giving more than you take. If you come at me about a refund for that course, you fucking childish. You're really childish because that course is fire. Matter of fact, I need to go on that course and give me some nuggets. That's how fire it is. You get what I'm saying? So I put my all into that course. So it's a flagship course. And someone asked me how fresh is the content of that course. It's fresh as the groceries in your refrigerator. That's all I can tell you. And that's fresh. Hopefully. Shit, some people, they be eating shit 2 weeks ago. Somebody said, ain't no way some macaroni and cheese made in DC is better than down south. Oh, let me let you on a little secret, guys. This recipe, my grandmother's family is originally from South Carolina, so I think this recipe made it from South Carolina to DC because my grandmother moved. Most of the people that's in DC is they not from DC. Everybody migrated here to DC for work in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. So that's why DC is not known for any staple dishes because mumbo sauce because we all come from all these different places and we make these dishes that everybody has. Like you can go to certain parts of DC and get some slamming ass gumbo. You can go to DC, like you can get anything that you want around the world in DC. DC is like the world's capital for restaurants. Like come to DC, man, I'll take you out and give you a good time. I know some hole in the wall spots that run lots around anything. So DC is it's the melting pot. Like it's every ethnicity, every race here. Like man, it's a city. I don't care how much money me and LaShawn make. It's a city that is always going to be home. You get what I'm saying? We consider moving different places. We always going to have DC as our number one home. Even when I come back, I travel all these places around the country. When I come back, I still feel like DC is home. And we done been to some nice places so far together, and I'm married. So, yeah, DC home. Yeah, so my man said, Vincent said, I got the course, well worth it. I appreciate the love, guys. Oh, yeah, guys, if anybody interested in giving me a testimony, whether or not you record on your phone, if you email it to us, we'll figure out a way to incentivize you and make it worth your while. We're not forcing you to say anything. Just give a genuine testimony, how you feel about the virtual wholesaling from A to Z course. Because we haven't technically even marketed the course. Did we do any paid marketing or push the course out there or really pushed it like it's supposed to be pushed?
We didn't do anything. That's
We didn't even go on a podcast and speak on the course yet. None of that.
No, we never did any.
It's been 100% organically, pushed. It's flying off the shelf. So I'm telling you, it's a solid course, and I think probably in the next month or two we'll make our media run with the course to really push it. But as of right now, we're not pushing it as hard as we could. So I definitely say, grab the course if you want to take your wholesaling business to the next level. So I'll catch y'all later. Thank you guys so much. It was an awesome webinar. We hit 1 hour and 34 minutes. Catch you the next time. Like I said, if you have any questions or any problems with this webinar, hopefully you guys was wise enough to screenshot these slides so you can take them as notes. But if you have any questions, reach out to me directly. I try my best to answer the questions in the most efficient way possible. I'm going to be in Houston, Texas, starting Thursday. So if you decided to hit me up from Thursday to Monday, if I don't respond, don't get mad at me. I'm busy away handling my business. But if you're in the Houston, Texas area, come on through the Wholesaling Live event. It's from the 4th or the 3rd. Yeah, the 4th to the 7th, right? It's from the 4th to the 7th. There's a ton of speakers. Of course, I'm going to be speaking. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an event that's worth your while, guys. So I'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out your day. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully I'll answer the questions, and hopefully you thought that this webinar was worth the value. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.